Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming race this weekend in Malaysia at the Sepang circuit. Now, before we get into it, here is the schedule for Friday. Here is the schedule for Saturday. And here is the schedule for Sunday. Now, for me, this is the ultimate squeaky bum time before the last race of the season. 17 points between Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia. If you're Martin, well, you really want to get that lead to over 25 points. So to outscore Pecco, realistically, by 10 points would make him nice and comfortable during the Valencia Grand Prix that is coming up. However, if you're Pecco, well, again, you want to take a good 12, 13 points out of it just to make it interesting for Valencia. So I guess it's going to be really, really hard to see what has happened, but let's just put it this way. If something does strangely happen and it does end up at the end of the season as tied, Pecco should be, in my view, winning it because he has the most Grand Prix victories and a total of 9 this season as of today, Thursday, before the Malaysian Grand Prix. So to outscore Jorge Martin really by a good margin, he probably needs to win every race. And that would put him far ahead. I think Martin has 3 Grand Prix victories so far this season. So it will be kind of interesting to see what happens there. Hopefully it is not a draw on anything like that and it's fought out on track. But again, one of the people that could get involved in this, and that is Marc Marquez. You know, he doesn't really care about the championship. He just wants to win a race, and he doesn't care about getting or mixing it or even trying to pass championship leaders. So he could definitely be in on it. It'd be interesting to see. You know, this is his first time going back to a circuit where he has had a test on properly. And what I mean by that is that he's been there already this season. He's going back. I know he did it in Nizano, but that was an edge case also. But, you know, they had 3 days of testing earlier this season. So I think it would be interesting to see how he gets on. Bastianini, again, you cannot count him out. The KTM duo, or KTM and Gas, Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta, again, you can also not count them out. Pedro, can he stay on the bike? Brad, it's probably the same question actually. Can you stay on the bike, Brad? You know, Brad's not doing bad at all, and neither is Pedro. You know, 6 points between them, battling for 5th in the championship. It's not a bad go, if I'm honest. What Maverick will turn up this weekend, we don't really know. Vinales is very hit and miss, if I'm very honest. Fabio Di Gianantonio, we know, is not going to be there this weekend, but Andrea Iannone is going to be standing in for him, so it'll be good to see how Iannone does get on. Franco Morbidelli, again, you know, blows hot and cold, similar to Aleix Espargaro. Marco Bezzecchi, can he overturn his terrible season, try and get up the ranks in the last 2 races? I think he can, but it will be very interesting. Alex Marquez as well. You know, he does need a couple of good strong weekends. I know his ride is safe for next year, but again, you know, he should be further up normally than where he is. Fabio Quartararo, I just don't know here. I think the Yamaha is going to get mangled, if I'm very honest. You know, all those long straights and very, very hard acceleration zones, it's not really going to be the best for the Yamaha. Jack Miller, love to see him get a podium before the end of the year. On his final 2 Grand Prix with the KTM factory team. Miguel Oliveira will not be there. Raul Fernandez, you know, there's some really weird stuff going on in Aprilia. If you saw it on the Thai Grand Prix, Raul was running another hybrid version of the front wing, like the 23 version of it. And then Lorenzo Savadori was actually running an upgraded aerodynamics set, and it was just interesting to see, you know, that they're trying to do the testing or get us some testing in ahead of next season. Johan Zarco, be interesting to see how the Hondas will do, himself and Nakagami. could do some damage this weekend, but it will be interesting to see. Alex Rins, again, I don't hold out too much hope for him. The Yamaha is going to be a little bit murdered, in my view. Augusto Fernandez, look, he's just riding around for a bit of fun now at this stage. Tied on points with Joan Mir. So I think Joan is probably going to win the Repsol Honda Teammate Challenge, but let's wait and see. He has 8 points ahead of Luca Marini behind him, who I think is going to maybe struggle around here, but it'll definitely be an interesting Grand Prix. The weather there, anything can happen this weekend. I'm really looking forward to Sepang. It's one of my favorite racetracks, and of course, obviously, one of the racetracks that I dislike the most because it took the life of Marco Simoncelli, one of my heroes. So I think, this weekend I will be getting up early, looking forward to the racing. Very, very hard to put it on it, but saying that, I think this is going to be a Pecco weekend. Pecco has to stop the rot this weekend, and realistically, he needs to score or outscore Jorge Martin, in my view, to keep his championship alive. He needs to be going into the race in Valencia within 4 or 5 points maximum from Jorge Martin. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win the Malaysian Grand Prix this Sunday? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.